Well, I started when I rejoined the club back in about November, and he said, "Hey, do you want to film? Do you want to direct this film?" I said, "Direct? I've not done it before." Well, we really need somebody to direct. Yeah, go on then. Can't be much to film in a film, can there?
Yeah, well, it's been quite an experience really, because I've written things before, short stories and poetry and bits and bobs, and I'd always been interested in the monologue form, so this film script started life out as a monologue, which I thought would probably be okay for radio.
Right, I'm Steve. I played Bert in the club epic. We started looking at this, I think, before Christmas. We had a rough idea of what we were going to do, and I think I walked in at the wrong time, or the right time, depending on how you look at it, and I'm Bert.
It's the 23rd of March 2008, and this is the first day's filming of this year's Warrington production called The Club. And here we are at the Stamford Club. Everyone's full of enthusiasm and expectation at the start. Well, we'll soon sort that out as we progress. As always, there's a lot of setting up to do, and the boys got on with that, while the girls, well, they just sat around chatting. Not really, they were busy rehearsing their lines and catching up on all the latest gossip. Thursday night at the Stamford is usually very quiet. They only had one regular in that night, so in the tradition of all club films, we put a call out for members to turn up and act as extras. Well, when there's an opportunity to down some beer or a few G&Ts, you don't have to ask twice. Members even brought a few guests along to make the numbers up.
There's going to be various people moving about. Just ignore them as if it's a normal night in a club.
Filming can be quite tedious at times, but no one moaned when they were asked to down their drinks again for another take. Quite a few times, I might add. John seemed to have things in hand though. Terry was working the camera, Pete was on clapperboard, and Martin, he was having a well-earned rest. Now really, Martin was chief grit for the night, sorting out the dolly he'd brought along. Don't know what her name was though.
Does it all have to bubble like that when you move?
Day one over, and it was time to pack away.
We had the funeral scene. I said, I want this authentic. Where are we going to film it? We'll get a church. There's a little church out wherever they did the last film. I can't remember where that was. I said, no, I want something bigger. Tetney's a nice church. Oh, you'll not get Tetney. Watch me. We got Tetney. We got a coffin for it. I think that was a bit of a fun.
Filming at Tetney Church didn't seem very popular with club members, so an appeal was put out on the radio and through Meniscus for extras. This was successful. We got one person. Still, enough people turned up to make it look like we had some mourners. That's mourners, not moaners. Not an easy night for the extras, as they were to sit in their seats for 2.5 hours without any heating in the church. At least the pallbearers kept warm, lifting that coffin up and down a few times and walking down the aisle for a few takes. And all this for a few seconds in the final film. Dangerous work, this filmmaking, as Dave found out.
3, take 2, shot 45D. Sorry. You think you're cool?
We've been out at Tetney Lock, round the ponds fishing, back of the club doing unmentionable things. You'll have to watch the film to see that.
Then it was on to Brian and Jenny's. This is where the bulk of the filming would take place over 4 separate days. In filmmaking, the scenes are not filmed in sequence, and today was the start and end shot sequences. It was a hot day, and you couldn't ask for a better location. A really beautiful setting, out in the quiet countryside. Well, there were some negative points. Tractors, aircraft, and we even had to stop filming due to noisy neighbours. Still, all in a day's filming. We would be using Martin's hoist today for some shots. This proved a logistical nightmare as it had to be moved into the back garden. Well, as they say, a bit of brute force and ignorance sometimes pays off. Jenny's window in the garage got a bit damaged though. Today's star was Dora. She performed her role really well. Most stars do when they're told they're going to be fed. Is the pressure telling, John?
These people should know he's not here in the first place.